That is the first thing I want you to understand. When I write, I am not performing. I am not constructing something carefully designed to land in a particular way with a particular audience. When I write, I am doing the only thing that has ever made the weight of feeling manageable. I am releasing something that has no other exit. Something that builds inside me until the pressure of keeping it contained becomes greater than the vulnerability of letting it out. And what has been building inside me lately, what has been finding its way onto paper in the hours when everything else is quiet and there is nothing left to distract me from what I actually feel, is something I never expected to be writing about. Her. Not the version of her that exists in anyone else's understanding. Not the image, not the idea, the actual her. The one who carries herself with a steadiness that I have found myself thinking about in moments that have nothing to do with her. The one who speaks with a certainty that does not come from youth or from the confidence of someone who has never been tested. It comes from somewhere deeper. From a person who has lived enough to know exactly who she is and has stopped apologizing for it. That quality, that particular kind of knowing, is something I've encountered rarely, and when I encounter something rare, I write about it, because writing is how I make sure I do not lose it before I have fully understood it. She is older than what people would expect from someone in my position, and I have thought about why that matters to me in the way that it does. I think it is because there is a kind of presence that only arrives with time, with the accumulation of experience that softens some things and sharpens others. She listens differently than younger people listen. She is not waiting for her turn to speak or arranging her response while I am still talking. She is actually inside the conversation, fully, without the performance of engagement that passes for real attention in most interactions I have, and being genuinely listened to, truly heard in the way that requires the other person to be completely present, is something I have been more hungry for than I ever allowed myself to acknowledge out loud. My poems about her are not the poems people would expect. They are not grand. They are not built from the kind of dramatic emotion that makes for easy interpretation. They are quieter than that, more specific, the kind of writing that comes from noticing small things, the way she phrases something, the particular quality of her silence when she is thinking, the moments where something crosses her expression that she does not put into words, and I find myself wanting to understand what it was. I write about those things because those are the things that stay with me, long after any conversation has ended, long after I should have moved on to the 100 other things that require my attention. What I write about her secretly is simply the truth of what it feels like to encounter someone who makes you aware of everything you have been settling for. Everything you accepted as normal about connection that was never actually normal at all. Just familiar. She is not familiar. She is new in the way that things are new when they are genuinely different from what came before rather than just slightly rearranged versions of it. And that newness, in a life where almost everything has been experienced and categorized and filed away, feels like something I am not willing to let go of easily. These words were never meant to leave the page. But some truths refuse to stay private, and perhaps that is exactly as it should be.